Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of YouTube series Nobody Somebody. The first interaction I had for this YouTube series was with my mentor. She's been teaching since 18 years, and let's hear out some wise words from her.
Yeah, I just want to know first thing, what have you named this series?
Yeah, I've named this series as Nobody Somebody because I couldn't come with a better thing. The main motto was there's a poem written where it is written that never be somebody, you should always be nobody. So I came up with this because when I shared the content with you, the motto was that anyone can serve for society. You just only need those thoughts and
Yeah.
intention. You don't need to have
So,
any designation. So I came up with this tagline that nobody somebody. Also, yeah.
okay.
So talking about you, since you are working since 18 years as a professor, so you have seen that generation gap. Students evolve every year. There are new students. So something you feel that apart from your academic part or your subjects, you always wanted to teach students, or in the first year you wanted to give them some values now, and those values have changed by the years you have come. So anything like that, which you have missed that session because see, we are college students, so most of the students don't attend those lectures. And even if they attend, they are either sleeping or on phone. So, at least I feel that interaction must be two ways. That essence, something that you are missing and you always wanted to, share those values or your experience or anything.
Initially, I'll tell you, when I started my career, I was a very young girl because I had just graduated, just completed my BE, and I got my job as a teacher, which I always wanted to be. I really wanted to be a teacher since childhood, and I guess that was so imprinted in me because I used to take tuitions from the age of 15. So the teaching became part of it, and then it gave you happiness also. And it really gave me happiness. So I always wanted to be a teacher. Now, when I started my career, see, you're a very young, energetic person, and I have very laid down. You're very strict in your rules and principles also. You're not very flexible at that particular point of time. And the gap between me and the students was hardly there. Because I had just completed my engineering. I was teaching the final year students.
Oh, okay.
So it was just 1 year, probably not even 1 year, you can see at times, So they were of my age. So then it was a very intentional thing that you have to be very strict and all those things. So yes, at that time, I really felt, that I used to keep that particular distance between me and students. But over a period of time, I realized that the generation is changing. What I did 18 years back, I just cannot keep it the same. 18 years back, yes, definitely the students had, even though I was their age, even then they considered to me to be as a teacher. Today, I actually have to be friends with the students for the students to open up. So I again 18 years back you could lecture them, but today I can't lecture them. I actually have to have a conversation and communicate to them.
True, true.
And when you talk about values and ethics, one thing I would really like. I mean, this question is so very nice that people say the generation has changed, but what I feel is as humans we're still the same. Like even 18 years back, the student wanted affection, care, appreciation. I think that has not changed even today. Even today, the students still demand appreciation, kindness, forgiveness from the teacher. Um, so I really don't think so that these values will change over a period of time. People say that generation is the generation aisa hai waisa hai, but I still feel peripheral things may change because this generation has got much more better things than what the previous generations got, and I think that is very good. But as values, I don't think that love, care, kindness, these things really change. If you go beneath, the children are still children only. The students are still students only. Probably, 18 years back, I did not have that maturity. As I said, I used to keep the one hand distance between the student and me. The
Hmm.
students never found me smiling. I used to have feedbacks. When in the feedback sessions, there were questions which were given, and
Hmm.
the students were supposed to read. So everything was excellent. She teaches well, this, that. And when remarks was written specifically, I have read remarks where students have quoted saying that, she doesn't smile. Please ask her to smile when she comes to the class. She's so good in teaching, but she's not at all friendly. you know.
Mm-hmm.
So see, they expected that time, but that was a very conscious decision of me of not to smile and not to be friendly.
Mm-hmm.
When those students passed out and when they later on came to college, and I remember one student of that, I was having my lunch break, and actually, personally speaking, I'm a person who laughs a lot. If you ask in my group also, I'm the most funniest person, to crack jokes and everything. And we were literally laughing, and when that student came in, he was like, "Okay, ma'am, you can laugh." So, I mean, that is a 360-degree thing when as soon as I enter the class and I'm in front of the students, I'm a different person altogether. And very consciously, I want the students to have this. But as a person, you're not like this. So, but then, after a period of time, I realized that no, you have to change. Probably it's because of my age also. Now, because of the age factor, there's an age difference between the students. So, there is that one thing, when the students will not take you for granted because you are an elderly person. That is one thing. So, now I don't have to do that consciously. Even if I smile, बच्चे को पता है ये हंस रही है, but इसकी कभी भी खिसक सकती है. So that is there. And as I said, students changing, no. As a human, if you see, I think the emotions are still the same. You have to touch the right chord. That's what I feel. So I don't feel there is a value system change. No, the students are still kind, still generous. And let me tell you, Mufat, Agao, ये बच्चे पहले नहीं होते थे. I've had those experiences also. So I cannot say, in fact, I will tell you the best part of being in this profession is till the age of 60, I can say I'm going to college. Okay. Secondly, I can stay with that age group, which no other profession can give me. Just see, if I was a banker, I was a CA, as I grow, I'm, going to be in that set of people who are not of my age. But this age particularly, I'm going to be with them, though I'm going to grow old, but I'm going to have all of your people around. So that is my take on the system, I think. The value system. I don't find it.
A few of my friends, I used to teach them maths and science in schools. I was like, oh wow, मैं तो बहुत अच्छी teacher बनूंगी, इतना अच्छा सिखाती हूँ ये वो. And फिर मेरी friend की एक mom है, she told me कि you should never charge money for something that you are giving someone, because it is just passed on from one person to another person. And that is where that shift came, that I'll never choose teaching as my profession, because obviously I need to have a living. Yeah, but I did take.
You took the literal meaning of what she said. Actually, you shouldn't have taken the literal meaning.
This thing is 9 years back, so I'm still.
That is why probably you took the literal meaning of it.
No, but what she said was right.
I'm not saying saying that you have to go to teaching, definitely, but I want you to be think very practically, because every profession you will go will have its ups and downs, and that is the practicality of life. How you should see a particular situation, I feel, is that is how we see. Of course, definitely, as you said, that teaching is not only teaching. There are a lot of facets of teaching also. Initially, when we joined teaching, we used to only do pure teaching. Today, things have changed a lot, and that's exactly the need of the art also. Your students also don't want us to come in the class and only teach. Do you want it? No. They're expecting more out of us, right? Sometimes you expect online some sessions, some project. So the expectations of the students have also changed, right? The learning pattern has completely changed. So definitely we have to change with time. And as you said, related to other questions, like, the integrity and all those issues, I see every profession, you're still young. When you actually go and, start living in any profession, you will find things which will not be correct as per you, the way you perceive it. At such times, I think, you should have your own, I'm not saying you should, be very adamant and very rigid about them. But yeah, you have to be diplomatic in life. And without hurting sentiments, without disrespecting anybody, sometimes in some situations, you just have to keep quiet and see things which are going. And as a person, you have to give your best and not compare to what is happening outside. So as a person, I think with those values you have to live. And this actually happens in your personal as well as professional life. You cannot set a set of professional life or in my personal life. No, you have to be fluid in nature. You have to mold yourself as life takes you, and you have to give it the best. So please don't have rigid rules for yourself. That will that will give you sleepless nights, I tell you. That will you'll start questioning. And I think for life to go ahead, I think you should also go ahead, just go with the flow at times. It's okay.
Yeah, also about this, when you said no that you should go with the flow, and sometimes you should be quiet. I've noticed this thing that this our generation, I know I'm small, but juniors who are my juniors, I feel that they have always thought that you should stand for yourself, and then that they have forgot, like they could, there's a thin line where you should be quiet and you should speak up. So I feel
Yeah.
that they are missing that line, and sometimes they try to stand for themselves, but I think they would be realizing it later that at that moment it would be better that if they were quiet.
That saying that age helps you to think in different dimensions because it comes with a lot of experience. When we started our session, you told me I like to interact with elderly people. That's because you get another dimension of thinking. Because yes, definitely I have to agree that a 17 or an 18-year guy will not have those many experiences what a 35 plus or a 40 plus or a 50 plus person may have, right? Again, another thing is that we may not be able to think or in the same manner. Like today, if I have to sit with a 70-year-old man, it's a lot of age difference and a lot of thinking difference also. Comparatively, if I sit with probably a 30-year person, a 10 years back person, it'll be better, a 50 years person. So yeah, age gap से भी बहुत difference of opinion
Mm-hmm.
perspective में आता है ये फर्क. So these students that you're talking, it's just time, and
Yeah,
they will learn, I think so. And it's good, in fact, I feel, that students are speaking up. It's really very good. The only thing is that when you speak, as I said, you have to always see that you don't hurt sentiments in that. Uh, Keeping my profession in mind, I have had experiences, you will not believe. Students have come and they are actually humiliated. I still remember one student with some experience he had, and it was not personally me. He was something disturbed with something else, and I just didn't expect it was a project. I was his project guide. The way he came and spoke to me, I just told him, "You please move out of my cabin," because that's the first experience I had with a very harsh student. I said, "You please move out of my cabin. I'm not in that state that I can speak to you." The child was not ready to leave. Then some other friend of his came and I said, "You please take him because I don't think so either. He's not on his senses and I may just back answer or react to this child." When he left, I still remember in my cabin, I was crying. Like, how can a student speak like this? Later on, of course, I had a conversation with his friend and what was wrong. And then I came to know that there was something which was mentally disturbing the child. So that's it. That's the period. Till today, I check him on Facebook and I want to see where he is, just to find out that okay, he's doing good for him. But I still have those memories also. So it's okay. He was a child, I think so, and I didn't react that time. I still don't react even today. So that's okay.
yeah, yeah. And I'm like, okay, shit. Okay, this is parenting. This is how teachers, teach values and all. Because I am a fan of APJ Abdul Kalam, and he said that there are the best three professions. I guess profession is not the right word, but the best three designations can be a father, mother, and a teacher. So I'm always trying to revolve around that.
That is what gives, I mean, I always tell, if you want to do teaching, you have to be passionate about it. You actually have to love doing it. You actually have to feel when you go to the class, you have to go into the heart of the child. He needs to give you his entire attention,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to do pure justice there. I mean, if the child is paying, and whatever you're going to tell him, he's going to keep that in mind. You tell him something wrong, वो wrong भी ध्यान में रखेगा क्योंकि वो सुन रहा है. If you're expecting him to be attentive, you also have to be very sure that you don't teach something wrong. Even till date, when I see some teachers or something, I see something wrong, it infuriates me. मतलब बहुत गुस्सा आता है मुझे. Yeah, you can't do this to child. I mean, I'm very, very sensitive towards that, that no, you can't do this. As a project guy, no, you shouldn't be doing this. As this, no. But मुझे बहुत गुस्सा आता है. You can't play with a child's life, that it is so important. And at the same time, definitely, I also expect that बच्चे को भी रिस्पॉन्ड करना चाहिए. पर
Yeah.
मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि बच्चा रिस्पॉन्ड तब करेगा जब आपको बहुत ही अंदर से दे सकते हो. Of course, I cannot tell this to each and every faculty who will work with me, but it's a very personal feeling which I feel that if you are very passionate about doing, it will reflect in your job,
Yes.
be it any type of job. And as teachers, it is our moral responsibility to also bring up the child. Do I say that they are adults when they come to engineering, but even I feel that even in that scenario, if the child, whenever he interacts with you, if not technical, something as value, something as a behavior, something as an experience, if the child takes from you and keeps that as a takeaway from you, it is it is something that you achieved, I think. So coming back to that, and my mother, she was saying, so I always told her, "Mommy, but it gives me happiness." I can't, exchange this for anything in the world. I don't want to go to the US. It's okay. And everybody could have his own definition of happiness, but for me, this is happiness, and it gives me a lot of happiness, to talk to my students and कुछ भी बोला. I mean, it could be personal, non-personal, technical, non-technical. I love to interact with students. Anybody, I don't know if you must have experienced it. People, students still call me. ये lockdown में तो बहुत कभी भी phone आते हैं. And the first question is, "Ma'am, are you busy?" नहीं बेटा तू बोल. So actually, I have a lot of things which I'm doing, but I always remember, and once I commit, to the child, and look, I will talk back to you. I make it a point, that I still remember. I may not call my mother back, but I always call back my students if I have committed something to them.
Yeah. We also do the same thing. Like friend का call आया या किसी का जहाँ पे we are committed, like हम उनको पहले रिप्लाई करेंगे. मम्मी के 4 मिस कॉल आ रहे हैं, अरे मम्मी हम बिजी है, बाद में बात करते हैं. So yeah,
Mother is the most underrated person, though she's the most important person.
True. I believe this. In fact, this lockdown helped us change a lot of things. As a family, there was some point, now we need to get out because of that mental space. And also somewhere we realized that this 20 years which we had spent with our parents is much more different, and now it is much more, I would say that in last 3 months I had learned many things than, in the whole span of 20 years if I had learned. Because now my dad is even when I joined this, my dad is like, whom are you talking to, what are you doing? So now he has started knowing things. अच्छा okay, laptop पे भी online sessions होते हैं या ये होता है वो होता है. So there's this thing. So now even if I use my phone or laptop, he acknowledges it. अच्छा ठीक है, बच्चा काम कर रहा है, ये है. So I feel that this was something which was missing, and because of lockdown, this is something that it filled the gap. So yeah, I'm happy for that thing.
That's it. They say that COVID positive. So I find that this is really positive thing. In fact, I'll tell you, Maitri, my children, my daughter, when she was 5 months, I started working. When you work, you're 10 hours outside. I come back at 6. They're busy with their plays. Practically speaking, I need them only for 2.5 hours in a day. Though I'm in the teaching profession where my timings are fixed. I'm not in the industry where I come very late. But in the mornings, I'm not there. She wakes up and she goes to school. My son is sleeping, so I practically meet them. My son doesn't come home after he plays until 8:30 and 9, and 10:30 we sleep. So just see, 2.5 hours I'm getting with my students, with my kids. So actually, I will tell you, I was really thinking that अपने खुद के बच्चों को मिलने के लिए मुझे कोविड ने हेल्प किया with this lockdown. Yeah, because 24/7 I'm with them. Now today when I'm going out for some work at least for 2 hours, I start running because I'm so used to that thing, which even when we have vacations, see, there is family and we go somewhere and we come back. But this was like a true, you have no option, you have to be with them. And it has really been very nice, I will tell you. Very nice. Though, yes, initially the phobia was there that you're not going out, you're not doing anything. And I think the mind is set in and accepted that. But this was the best part, even I felt, that you have seen your kids from really morning to really night, all 24 hours, you're actually looking at them. So yeah, that's really been a good experience of COVID, I should see. And as I said, you have to be positive in every situation. And this was a really welcoming and nice change, which I found out. Probably I'll miss it when we start having our regular working hours.
We never thought that we'll be having such long vacation. Yeah, but still a lot of people, when you think about them, oh shit, उनके पास खाना नहीं है खाने के लिए, कैसे करेंगे? Yeah. Because my dad owns a business, so he has 5 workers under him. तो मैं और डैड यही like from March हम यही calculate कर रहे हैं कि अरे salary कैसे देंगे, क्या करेंगे? Because even if we don't have money, or let's forget it is ethically right or wrong, but we have worked with them, we are connected with them, and we're like अरे कैसे उनको देंगे? So even if we are well fed and we are sitting here, we are still like, oh shit, कैसे करेंगे, क्या करेंगे, कैसे उनकी help करेंगे? And the initial month was something where you could not help also if you wanted to help them. Now after April, it is like, okay, you can send money or you can do something.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is, COVID is something that I have never spoken about.
Because I today morning I called up my maid. More than say yaad aa rahi thi, and I have 3 maids. There's 2 I really don't have their contact numbers. My mother-in-law keeps their numbers, and my in-laws are not at home. So I spoke to the one who cooks for us, and I called her today and asked her, okay, where are you? You've not been calling. Somewhere you see they must be having a feeling that if we call, it may not be good or something like this. Yeah. And I told her, you're doing quite good. I said, I really spoke to her. I'm like, लगता है तो बहुत मजे कर रही है, तेरे को याद भी नहीं आ रही है हमारी. She's like, no, no, but you must be busy with work. I said, yeah, if there's anything, please let us know. Because we are
Mm-hmm.
actually in a much better position. Maybe not
Yes,
too good, but I think that yes, it is our moral responsibility, towards them. Not only when, we are working at that times, they work extra for us. And sometimes they go out of their way to help us, let me tell
yes,
you,
yes,
really.
yes,
And this is a time that we should appreciate. And it's always, like they say, the good times everybody's near, but you should be able to ask a person, what do you need, can I be of some help to you? This is a very good thing. And I always had that feeling, that if you could be of any help, and see, help is not always in terms of financial.
yes,
It is
yes.
definitely, no doubt, it's situational. But as I said, that a smile, a word of assurance, a touch, these things go a very long way. And you never know, which word of yours the person has taken. The touch of you, when it has, given some sentiments to the person of trust, you never know. People will never express it at that point of time. लेयर्स के अंदर उनके सबकॉन्शियस में ये चीजें बैठ
हाँ
जाती है, एंड
हाँ,
बहुत सालों के बाद भी उनको वो टच याद रहता है, वो
yeah,
वर्ड याद रहते हैं. So and I think about all these things very, because I am very very keen about relationships. It's very difficult for me. That because of me, I have broken up relationships. Of course, hey, so I always try to have harmonious relationships. I'm not saying I'm the best, of course. I've been worst also,
mm-hmm.
but जितना हो सके अपने से, you don't hurt people. Yeah, you don't mess up with me also. If you mess up, then it's probably very good, that we have a good safe distance. Good for everybody in that case. So of course I'm not a saint. And of course if you have 10 people saying good, you'll probably have 11 also of the other opinion also. And you cannot keep all people happy also. So that is what I was trying to saying, that yeah, you should help people. And not in this pandemic, you should help in every way. And if not in money, not in kind, definitely in words, because that is something.
Yes.
Usme kanjushi mat karo. Definitely in smiles, you can do that. You just crack a small piece of joke also, and make the situation nice. So try giving.
हाँ ये तो yeah, words actually. Even in the morning, I and my two of my friends, whenever we enter college ना, हम जितने भी watchman है या जितने भी है, हम सबको good morning बोल के जाते हैं. You said me that you always wanted to be a teacher, like from the start. But since 18 years is a long journey, and somewhere you felt that you should switch to somewhere, like just a passing thought. You remember that you want to switch from teaching profession, anything like that? Because I have a list of professions.
Initial years, now initial years probably, because I used to feel that financially, because probably there were good opportunities. But it was very difficult. I mean, it was just an upper wala man, not with a lot of
Okay,
I
okay,
have
yeah.
to do it. No, I mean initially, yeah, because see, you are in that age group where you have your own friends also doing very well at that time. So just a passing thought, yeah, that the industry is there, and they should really say, that you're good enough. You all can
Mm-hmm.
actually be there. So when somebody tells you're good, you also want to try that. But
Yeah, yeah.
frankly speaking, I tried also. I became a lazy thing, and then no, it's just a passing thought. Probably nothing really serious in that direction. So just being here and done it all.
नहीं अच्छा है. I switched from teaching to law because मैं ना हमेशा स्टार्टिंग से फिलोसॉफिकल रही हूँ. I'm like मुझे वर्ल्ड को चेंज करना है. अपना अगर बच्चों को चेंज नहीं करूंगी ना, तो मैं सबको सिखाऊंगी these are the laws, these are the rights. So I always wanted to do law, but then I don't know how. I'll tell you how I ended up in engineering. This is also very stupid story, I would say. मैं 8th स्टैंडर्ड में थी एंड मैंने ना कुछ देयर वाज समथिंग, किसी ने ना ईमेल आईडी या कुछ हैक कर लिया था करके. And there are some adult films also which you should not be watching it, but मेरे friends ऐसे देखते थे या they used to talk
Yeah.
about it, and I'm like मेरे like I have younger cousins also. I'm like मेरे घर में तो कोई नहीं देखेगा ये, but then I'm like मैं एक को बचा पाऊंगी, दो को बचा पाऊंगी. Then I thought कि engineering was something like कि ऐसे लैपटॉप ओपन होता है, ब्लैक कलर की स्क्रीन आती है और कुछ कोडिंग होता है. दिस वॉज समथिंग इनिशियली स्कूल डेज से ये माइंड में था. तो लाइक मैं ये कुछ करके सिक्योरिटी डाल दूंगी, तो जो बच्चे हैं ना वो कभी क्रैक ही नहीं कर पाएंगे. एंड देन आई कम इन इंजीनियरिंग एंड आई एम लाइक ओ शिट, एथिकल हैकिंग करके भी कुछ चीज होती है. So you do hacking for good reasons also. So that reason was quite different. But yeah, doing like teaching profession, doing law and engineering was somewhere related to लोगों को बदलना है. So it always ended up, and right now I'm doing YouTube series. I don't know what I would end up with. So yeah, this is how I came up with
See,
it.
because there is a feeling that you want to have probably, inherently, the ambition is still the same, that you want to have a good change, a positive change. Because what you've said, like I've understood one thing. One second, maybe can you please open the door? Internet connections issue. Because see, finally, with that subconscious mind, you have the feeling of doing something good for others, maybe society, family, and that is why see the directions that you walk in, the way
Mm-hmm.
you write, the intention of this channel. You could have had a very nice, good YouTube channel of making hacks and making pranks, which works really very good. My
Yes,
kids
yes,
watch
I
you a
know,
lot,
I
right?
know.
But coming up with something like this, so it conveys a message behind it, that finally, there's a saying, all roads lead to Rome.
Yes, yes,
We want to do this, and you try many ways, but finally, you end up walking in that direction only. So that's what is happening with
yes,
you also, maybe.
yes. I
So you
just
may
hope.
want to be a teacher. If you, even if you're not a teacher, I believe that subconscious is so much well framed that whatever you go into, you will always have this thing. It has to do a lot of with your upbringing. It has to do a lot of with your self bringing also. I would not
Yes,
always say that upbringing makes the person that you are, but yes, it definitely has a big role. Upbringing and self bringing. That where do you take yourself? And so these two things will land you up to your objectives that you have of making things in a better place. So I'm very happy that in our own way you are trying to do this. That's really very good and appreciating at this age.
thank
Really
you.
very good.
This recording was initially a very long one, so I have divided this recording into two. Part 2 will be recorded soon. Thanks for watching.